we have heard. Do you remember that incident when Muhammad Hijab justified cursing because he was cussing some fellow Muslim over some uh, breastfeeding issue or something? So Muhammad Hijab said that uh, going after, oh no, when he was attacking apostate Ridwan and his wife, and he was going after all these women, ex-Muslim women. So people were like, even some Muslims said, no, brother, this is not a good way to deal with, um, even the enemies of Islam. Our dear beloved Prophet always had a nice, he spoke nicely. He was a well-spoken man. So he said that, no, but Abu Bakr once said that go and suck the clitoris of Alat and Manat, which is written in Ibn Hisham and I think in Tabri as well. I'm not sure in any in 6 Sahih books or not. But anyway, so Muhammad Hijab gave that reference. He said it's okay to use crude remarks or make, abuse and curse some people. But anyway, so Hijab then later on, he was still condemned by a lot of other Muslim scholars. So he just backtracked a bit and he said, oh, look, I was under this back pain medication and all that. And this is the reason why I couldn't control my emotions. So I screwed up. But he didn't say, I'm sorry. You're finished. That's what he said. So anyway, so where did they get? I also thought that maybe this might be the case. Because that was the only example that I could think of. But then later on, I found something very interesting. Actually, Stoic helped me find it. So there are two times when people cuss. Yeah, is when someone is wronged by someone, or when they think that someone wronged them, even though they didn't. So have a look at.
Or they're in pain.
Yeah, well, under back pain medications. So have a look at this one. This is Sahih Hadith Al-Adab Al-Mufrad 963. So it said the book is Kitabul Harkat, meaning how to behave. I mean, basically the book of manners. So I saw with Ubay a man who was attributing himself in lineage with an attribution of Jahiliyyah. So there was this guy who was bragging about his ancestors, like some dearly beloved Indians do. My ancestors were so great, but apparently those ancestors were from the time of pre-Islamic era, which they're called the era of ignorance. Yes. So Ubay told him to bite his father's male organ and did not speak figuratively.
It was explicit. He was
explicit.
Bloody hell! What?
But Nuri, this is Ubay. Yeah, Ubay is doing this, so it's not. Yeah. So okay. So Ubay was just
no, I can't believe this made it into the Hadith in general.
But listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a feeling some people, when they used to get in trouble, they're like, "Hey, I learned it from the Prophet."
Yeah, it's exactly a great get out of jail free card.
Yeah. But look what he did. He says here. He says. Then he said, "I will never show apprehension to anyone." No, hang on. So his companions looked at him. He said, "It appears with you disapprove of it." Yeah. So even his friends, other Muslim friends, they're like, "Oh man, take it easy, bro. Like you're asking him to bite on his dad's penis? Come on, that's gross." So his friends were getting upset with that. But then he said, "Oh, whoa, hang on a second. I will never show apprehension to anyone with regards to this. Verily, I heard the Prophet." Here comes the Prophet. "I heard the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, say, whoever," look how specific that is, "whoever attributes himself in lineage with an attribution of the period of or the ancestors of ignorance, then tell him to bite his father's male organ and make sure they don't think it's figurative." Be explicit. First of all, remember that how specific this instance was, and this is why I say Muhammad used to make up stuff as he went along. Like in a battle of Uhud, this guy walks up to him. Muhammad's wearing a body armor, and that guy is wearing body armor. And Muhammad says, "Oh, this guy Harith. Oh no, Auf. I think his name was Auf. He comes up to Prophet Muhammad. The battle is going on in the background, by the way. Just imagine this. He goes, "Oh, dear Prophet, what makes Allah the happiest?" The Prophet thinks, I've got one body armor. He's got one body armor. There's battle going on. I am probably going to get killed if I don't take some extra precautionary steps. So what makes Allah the the happiest? Oh, pray 5 times, love thy neighbor, love the orphans, pay charity. Nah, no, not that. He said, anyone who jumps in the battlefield without body armor. How specific? Like it could have been
What
like if
a
Muhammad,
con artist, mate.
if Muhammad was short of let's say if he was missing a boot or something, he would have said, what makes Allah the happiest is if you give me your boot. Anyway,
Oh gosh.
just like that, look how
He fleeced that guy, man. Like he fleeced that guy for like his farm to have land in heaven as well. He's always conning people.
but Nuria, but look how
Bloody
freaking specific is it?
Yeah.
It's like you have to tell him, like anyone. Okay, so what
Like
if someone?
that's the final solution to this. This is the
Yes.
only solution, and this is the specific solution. This is what you tell anybody that gasses
Yeah.
up his ancestors who weren't
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah, it's like okay. So if I take pride in my lineage, tell him to go bite his father's penis. Okay, if I drive fast late at night, okay, tell him to slap himself on the left cheek. Like what
Yeah, yeah.
What is this?
It's literally like he was trying to add this into the manual. Like this is the sin, this is the punishment, but you cannot make this stuff up. Like it was literally that incident he extracted, and he's like, that was a great solution. Anytime anybody does this, now this is the remedy.
That exactly what you got to do. But okay, so this is when Muhammad said that according to Muhammad's worldview, when someone was in the wrong, right? He was in the wrong. He did something. He's taking pride on his ancestors. Okay, fair enough. But what to do when you just cuss and abuse someone for no reason? Prophet Muhammad abused people for no reason. Have a look at this one. Look at the chapter 9. This is Sahih Muslim. Whomever is cursed, reviled, or prayed against by the Prophet when he does not deserve that.
Oh my word.
And then on top of that, when you calm down and you realize you were in the wrong, it will be purification, reward, and mercy for him. Let me just explain that what he means by here.
Please.
Nuria, you haven't done anything wrong. You just looked at me like this, or you were like, or you just said what? Like you just said something to me. I perceive that as an act of aggression, hostility, or I feel I've been wronged by you. So I just start cussing you. I say, you mother, you whatever, pray against you,
yeah,
whatever. Imagine that. I just say this, and then a little bit later, someone tells me, Harris, you were so out of line. She didn't even say anything. Then I'm like, yeah, I think I was wrong. She didn't deserve that. But don't worry, because I'm a prophet.
Yeah.
My cusses to Nuria will turn into blessings. That's the deal I've made with Allah.
Your shit's turning into roses now?
Exactly. This is what he's saying. He's saying here that when someone is cursed, reviled, or prayed against by the Prophet, when he does not deserve, it will be purification, reward, and mercy for him. That's what it means.
Oh my
what
gosh.
a freaking con artist. Okay, let's just go. There are quite a few hadiths, but let's just go through some of them. Aisha reported that 2 persons visited Allah's Messenger, and both of them talked about a thing of which I'm not aware, but that annoyed Muhammad, and he invoked curse upon both of them and hurled malediction. And when they went out, I said, Allah's Messenger, the good would reach everyone, but it would not reach these two, meaning those 2 people who said something that Aisha didn't understand, but it annoyed Allah, it annoyed Muhammad, and Muhammad cursed them. So he said, why so? I said, because you have, so Muhammad has forgotten. He's like, why so? I said, because you have invoked curse and hurled malediction upon both of them. So Muhammad said, hey, don't you know that I've made a special condition with Allah? Special condition.
With my puppet master, yeah.
Yeah, oh Allah, I'm a human being after all. And that for a Muslim upon whom I invoke curse or hurl malediction, make it a source of purity and reward. Okay, so here it doesn't say whether those guys deserve that or not, but it's in that heading. So let's just say they didn't deserve it. But the word here is they've used a fancy word, malediction. It actually, the Arabic word here that is used is sabba, which means basically cussing. And so
Oh, damn.
if you abuse someone, there it is, sabbatun. If
Mm.
you abuse
Oh,
someone, that's the
yeah.
word they use. Okay, so have a look at this one. So this has been reported on the authority of someone. He had a private meeting with them and hurled malediction upon them and cursed them and sent them. So Muhammad, this is the second instance when he's cussing people and telling them to get out, get the f out of my house. Okay.
Muhammad's like Gordon Ramsay when he's like all angry in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Well, what happened to all that? Oh, he was so well spoken and very
I know,
calm.
he wouldn't harm a butterfly, even a woman that threw
Yeah.
trash at him. He like checked in on her health when she didn't do it one day. BS.
Yeah. Oh Allah. And then he says, "Oh Allah." And you know, this is so human-like. Like, well, if I abuse my friend or something when he didn't deserve it, and I'd be like, "Oh, come on, man. After all, I'm a man, man. I'm a human being. You know, I can make mistakes,
I can't
man.
take this weight on my
Come
shoulders.
on,
I can't
man.
tell you why your crops didn't harvest well enough this year. I effed up, okay? Cut me some slack."
Cut me some slack. When he gets caught, that's what I'm a man after all. Come on. Anyway, so another one, Jabir reported the same one. So have a look at this one. Make it. This hadith has been transmitted on the authority of Allah. Make it a source of mercy. There you go. So this is a mutwatir hadith, meaning it's coming from multiple sources. Okay, so Abu Huraira also reported that Allah is saying, "Oh Allah, I make a covenant with you against which you would never go. You wouldn't never go. I'm a human being, and that's for a Muslim." So again, you got to notice here, it's for a Muslim. He's saying, if I abuse a Muslim, or if I cuss him or invoke curse on him, then make this a source of blessing, purification. So only
You can
for a
still
Muslim,
cuss out
not
the
for
disbelievers and non-believers and polytheists.
Oh yeah. That's just human right. Look at this one. This is funny because
That's
I
just
heard
the
Abu
Muslim
Huraira
right.
say,
Yeah.
So Allah's messenger saying, "Oh Allah, Muhammad is a human being. I lose
my temper just as any human beings lose their temper." Wow,
I
he's actually
lose.
done being a prophet in some of these instances. He's like,
Exactly.
"Sorry, my I couldn't stop my tongue. It just got away from me."
On one hand, they say his poop never smelled. His sweat smelled of roses. And then on the
Honestly.
other hand, when they get caught, they're like, "Oh, he's just a human being after all." So
Yeah.
anyways, he's saying, "I lose temper. Like Muhammad Hijab. See? He can lose temper. As human being, and I have held a covenant with you, would not break, which you will not break for a believer against the rest of the
Who I give any trouble? You can see the prophet is dishing out trouble to his own believers, man.
For a believer whom I give any trouble.
Surely you're a prophet there to alleviate humanity's issues, not give them trouble. That kind of defeats the object of you being there.
Yeah. There's quite a few of those as well. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So listen to this one. It's a bit long, but you'll get it. So, "Oh, it is you. You have grown young," meaning you've grown up. "May you not advance in years." So reported that. So there was an orphan girl, Sulaim, who was a mother of Enos. Allah's messenger saw that orphan girl and said, so this is just an orphan girl, just a little girl. "Oh, it is you. You have grown young. May you not advance in years," meaning you hope you die soon. Biatch. So that slave girl,
what an individual.
That slave girl returned to Sulaim weeping. The poor girl is like,
"Oh."
So Sulaim said,
"This is the prophet, the final prophet of the humankind, cussing out a little girl, making her cry."
Yes.
What
the little girl
is going on? Because it's probably his mental age is the same.
Yes. Yeah, listen. Yeah, but listen, this is so hilarious at the end. Okay. Have a look how Muhammad does a U-turn on this. So he said, Sulaim said, "Oh, daughter, what is the matter with you?" She said, Allah's apostle has invoked curse upon me that I should not grow in age, and thus I would never grow in age. Or she said, in my length of life. So Sulaim went out, wrapping her head, dressed hurriedly. She was like, "Who is this Muhammad? I'll go and talk to him."
Yeah.
Until she met Allah's messenger. He said, and by the way, that girl was a slave girl. So, it just shows Sulaim, like she was a nice woman, by the way.
Yeah.
He said to her, Sulaim, what is the matter with you? Muhammad is now scared. What is the matter with you? She said, Allah's apostle, you invoked curse upon my orphan girl. She was an adopted orphan girl. He said, Sulaim, what is that? And Muhammad's totally forgotten about it. She said, the orphan girl states, you have cursed her, saying that she might not grow in age or grow in life. So Allah's messenger smiled. He's like, oh, Miss Sulaim, don't you know that I've made a special deal with Allah? And the term with my Lord is that, I said to him, I am a human being, and I'm pleased just as a human being is pleased, and I lose temper just as a human being loses temper. So for any reason from amongst my ummah, whom I curse, and he or she is no way deserves it, let that, O Lord, be made a source of purification and purity. So basically, this is what he said. The same thing. He said, I made it. Don't worry about my cussing and abusing and me wishing death upon. Don't worry, I made a deal. Allah's got my back. Allah's saying, no, we're not going to do it.
In fact, he's like saying the more I cuss you out, the more you'll be like this purified and this nearness to Allah. So in that case, Muhammad, cuss me all day and all night. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yes, cuss me more, Muhammad. And on the other hand, remember they used to say, you would have heard this story, that when Muhammad was going through the city of Taif, the mushrikeens were throwing rocks at him. And he would get his head smashed in, blood pouring down his forehead, and he lifted his hands and he said, "Oh Allah, they do not know why they hurt me."
Yeah,
don't they say, on one hand they tell
the message,
yeah, he's so kind, but then on the other hand he picks fights with little girls and says, "Oh, you die soon." Yeah.
He picks fights with little girls.
Either he has split personality, crazy, making up things as he went along, blah blah blah, or this whole story of Muhammad is all made up, BS. This is probably more likely. I go with the latter though. So but in another instance, look what the actual Sahih Bukhari 6044 says. Allah again has a split personality. Allah's messenger said, abusing a Muslim is fusq, i.e. an evil doing, and killing him is kufr. So he himself is saying that abusing a Muslim is an evil act. And here in Sahih Muslim, we've got 6 or 7 instances where he's doing the same thing to other Muslims.
Yeah.
and to safeguard him, he's made a deal for himself. He's made a deal with Allah. Allah, even though I cut someone, it's like me saying to my friend, Nuria, would you allow me? Sorry, Nuria, I'm gonna cuss you, but just don't mind, okay? Just don't mind. I'm a man after all. It's nothing bad is gonna come out of it, but let me freaking cuss you, man. Like, would you ever allow that? Would you be like, why can't you control your tongue? Why can't you control your emotions?
Yeah, I'd say you need like anger management classes and just need to take a chill pill. And yeah, you've got work to do. Work on yourself, buddy.
Exactly. This is, I mean, I this man, 1400 years. On one hand, he's causing so much suffering and bloodshed, but he's something. He's giving us a lot of source of comedy as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. And also it's like, any terms and conditions that apply generally, like he just has separate ones for himself. He's always got these specialist provisions. Like, and obviously cussing another Muslim is an evil like sin. It's a wrongdoing. But in his case, he's got special terms and conditions where actually that will be flipped into blessings and will raise your rank in heaven. So he gets a free cuss card, essentially. He's always worming his way out of situations.
That's a whole part.
Yeah, he wiggles his way out and gives himself special privileges all the time. Yeah. I'm surprised his companions didn't kick up much more of a fuss, like to get. Well, Omar did. He knew he was like adding his own little bits in. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, what a traveling. He's like a traveling salesman, Muhammad, but a traveling con artist, caravan robber.
Con artist. Man, what a con artist, man. What a con artist.
Absolutely.
All right.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.